Race number 5 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1600 metres and an interesting race here. We've got a few that have been going head to head. Now we're chucking in a couple of midweek gallopers that have been performing well.
Yeah, it's one of those weekends of racing where a few of these Wednesday class gallopers having a throw at the stumps, but we'll have a look at last start winner All Too Much. It was great to see this horse break through, beating Proxy.
In the middle is Proxy, Dance Master, George and Ernie dropping out All Too Much. Quickly races two in front of Faux Shizzle. Barracky beats off the bit, look to be really struggling. 200 metres now left to go. All Too Much in front, a length and a half to Faux Shizzle. Proxy starting to run on. Now George and Ernie starting to put the big ones in down the outside. Dance Master, but it's All Too Much clear from Proxy and Faux Shizzle, and it's All Too Much.
Nice run by All Too Much. I think we're all cheering for this galloper and also trainer Rob Moore as they went down the straight. Certainly had been well deserved, just kept running into a better galloper, especially one that William Pike was on board. Sadly, he's in this race again for Rob Moore, so he'll be hoping that another Maori boy doesn't get anywhere near them. But speaking to Rob and also Peter Nucky after the race, they just found this horse just seemed to actually really enjoy leading, which surprised Rob and surprised Peter as well. But he mentioned the horse just had that nice cruising speed and was just able to roll out in front. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to lead this race because there is a little bit more speed, but it certainly is an advantage from barrier 6 that if it jumps well again, knowing that you can just roll out to stretch out and get to the front.
Yeah, the first time that this galloper has a jockey staying on him in consecutive starts this preparation, so that's good to see from Peter Nucky. Number 2, Faux Shizzle, wasn't disgraced at all last start in that run behind All Too Much, just camped off them and probably had a little bit too much weight in the end. Still has 56.5 to carry around here. From barrier 11 though, there does look to be enough speed for it to get home strongly.
I think this is going to be the better run for this galloper now. It's only had the 2 starts since the 30th of July, so having that back up from the 10th of September I think is a nice bonus now. Just gets that extra run, a bit of hardness underneath it. 56.5 kilos, barrier 11 again, no concerns at all, can just roll across and ease into the race. You never want to rule this horse out.
How about these form lines? Chocolate Holic, Pushin Shapes comes out of that race, ran third behind it at 40 to 1, and it was a lovely ride from Peter Hall on that occasion, but the way this gelding by Viscount got home suggested that it was looking for the mile, and it looks well suited here.
Massive run. I was tempted to put this horse on top, drawn barrier 9, Peter Hall riding, and the Dan Pearce stable ticking along nicely. Thought it was a very good performance, as you mentioned, behind Chocoholic. Even the run before that around Max Almighty as well. The form lines are good enough. This 4-year-old does have a bit of class. I think it is certainly a winning chance, but I'm going to go with number 3, All Too Much, to back up, just like Peter Nucky will be doing, as you mentioned, the first time in this campaign a jockey's gone back to back with the horse, so good luck to them. From number 5, Pushin Shape, 7, Proxy, and 8, the forgotten one.
I'm sticking with the 2, Faux Shizzle. From the 3, All Too Much, 4, Dance Master, and 7, Proxy.
Race number 6 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1300 metres. And again, one of those interesting races, like we mentioned before, you've got some strong Saturday form lines and then a couple of the midweek horses that have been racing well, getting their opportunity.
Yeah, fillies and mares class, perfect opportunity for the girls to come to town and run for a $40,000 race. We'll have a look at Forever Diamonds winning last start, running down first trade.
50 left to go, first trade in front, led by a length Casual Time, Secret Charge, Ripper Red coming down the outside with its run, and Forever Diamonds winding up as well, and further back Juendis, first trade responding, led the way at the 100 metre mark, down on the inside Forever Diamonds though, closing rapidly. Forever Diamonds went up, joined first trade, and finishes by far the better.
This was a nice performance by Forever Diamonds, was backed into the 360 on that occasion and managed to do it quite easily in the end over first trade. The question for mine is how much this filly is going to, or mare is going to improve the 4-year-old, and how good those form lines are. We were still questioning first trade going in, and look, she certainly has improved and I think exceeded a couple of our expectations, but it's all well and good winning a Class 3 56 plus when you're coming up against horses like Bayella, Bourbon, Dynasty, these types, even Hopetown, that are proven against some stronger form lines. So this is a good test for her. I think she can definitely win, but I will be intrigued to see what price she opens up at and how she goes against some of these better horses.
She does look one of the harder ones to beat, especially with the speed that will be set by first trade, and Miss Iconic there. Bourbon Dynasty is another one who got home very strongly last start in midweek company rather, in a Class 5 race, and should be doing the same here again. Yeah,
I thought it was a big tick, that performance, because again that was a leader's day. He got within 3 lengths of Settlers Creek, which just dominated them on that occasion, finishing second. Barrier 1, not ideal at all for this mare. She'll need to roll off the fence. She likes to wind up down the middle of the track, but with the speed that's in this race, I think she can definitely do that. I'm expecting another good performance.
One thing I will say about Bourbon Dynasty is that if you go back to, I think it was February at Pinjarra in the Magic Millions Day, the Pearl Classic, I think it was. She got up on the inside, and once she saw daylight, she really flashed home. So she gets held up. I wouldn't be too worried in the straight because she can certainly burst home, Adam.
Yeah, she's probably got the best turn of foot in this race, and I think probably the most consistent, which is what I like about her.
Your selections, Adam?
I'm going to go with number 3, Bourbon Dynasty, from 6, Forever Diamonds, 1, Bayella, and 4, Big Caroline.
I've got the same Quinella, Adam. I've got the 6 on top though. Forever Diamonds, from 3, Bourbon Dynasty. A really nice run last start. 4, Big Caroline, and 7, Goldbow.
Race number 7 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,300 metres. Another intriguing race. I'm really looking forward to seeing War God go around again. Looking for 4 in a row. Of course, hadn't won for 15 starts, but has won its last 3, and it's been doing it in impressive fashion.
It has indeed, Adam. Let's have a look at that last start win at Belmont, where it beat Big Caroline in a good Class 3 field.
100 to go, Chancery booted 2 in front of Mama Bear. On the outside, Big Caroline letting go with her run. War God winding up down the outside. Further back, another Maori boy, Mark Katie's keeper, and deep out Kensington Abbey. 150 from home, Big Caroline tackled and headed by War God. It's War God surging clear. He's coming away. 3 on the trot for War God, and a treble for Harvey today.
Just absolutely love this galloper. It's one that when you look in the mounting yard, big and strong, and you knew, I mean, even though the owners are getting a bit impatient after 15 starts of not winning, you just always knew once this horse got a bit of confidence, it was going to go on with it. Neville Parnham was confident, as were the jockeys. Paul Harvey's just connected really well with this horse. Barrier 5 is going to get a lovely run throughout. I can see War God going on again and winning 4 in a row.
It makes us look silly, doesn't it, when you have a look when it won that maiden at Belmont, one of those very first $30,000 maidens. It won at $5.50, which was an absolute spoil, and it's gone on with it then. And as you mentioned, Paul Harvey just seems to know the horse very, very well. Nice type of animal as well, Adam. We've also got their number 5, Juendis. Now, this horse has been somewhat disappointing. Now, whether it's Belmont and when he gets back to Ascot, he'll be a different horse, but look, he should have won last start in a moderate Wednesday Class 3.
Yeah, nothing went to plan. I don't put anything down to the horse here. Missed the kick. Didn't have any luck throughout the run. Now, senior jockey goes back on board. Barrier 3, the 56 kilos. They stretch out to the 1,300 metres as well. Juendis should be back close to the speed, and I expect this horse to be finishing off much stronger this time.
Look, I say it was a moderate field. Forever Diamonds was in that race, but for his ability, he should have won that quite comfortably.
Well, he should have been in the first 2 pairs.
Yeah,
so that was, you knew from the moment they missed the kick that the horse was gone.
We've also got their number 4, Card 9. An interesting runner. The visors come off here. Couldn't beat Black Aria last start, but won impressively the start before that at Belmont. Maybe coming back to Belmont might be the key to this horse.
Yeah, this is a nice type as well. Needs everything to go in its favour. Barrier 12, bit of a question mark here. Paul Harvey normally rides his galloper as well as staying with War God, and I can understand that as well. I think the form lines are much stronger there, and I think I'd be having War God in front of it in this field. But I'm going to give Juendis another chance here with the senior jock back on board and Barrier 3. From number 9, Cool Image, 3, Bomber Bay, and 1, War God.
I'm going the 1 on top, Adam. War God, just in great form, is the galloper. From 5, Juendis, number 3, Bomber Bay, and 4, Card 9.
Race number 8 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,200 metres, and one thing when doing this race, Mark, and taking a look at the speed map, there is a fair bit of speed in it.
Absolutely, from the likes of Ominous Warning, Stable Secret, Clobberetta, maybe even Castle Retreat. It looks a very good, nice race on paper for some of these back markers, one of which will be number 3, Pretentious Chant. Let's have a look at it winning last start, beating Bomber Bay.
Patrimonio next to last. She Rules All is the leader. Noski hasn't moved though on the outside here with Crusoe. Pretentious Chance around his heels though. They've dropped off travelling. Bomber Bay's working into it pretty well. She Rules All from Crusoe. Pretentious Chant. Bomber Bay on the scene late. Pretentious Chant hits the front. Bomber Bay down the outside, but Pretentious Chant will cling on.
There's a nice performance there by Pretentious Chant, managing to get the job done. Now, Barrier 4, it sat in the second pair and normally is close to the speed, so I'll be intrigued to see how hard they push through the early stages with that other speed that looks just a little bit quicker than Pretentious Chant. The big thing I took note of was that Gavin Foster mentioned that the galloper needed the run. Now, it's a pretty good performance for a horse that hadn't started since the 25th of June. I think it'll only improve again.
Yeah, Troy Turner got off the horse that day and said 1,200's his absolute max. He doesn't want any further. He was just getting to the line, and that may have been a fitness thing as well, Adam, as you just mentioned. So interesting to see how he goes. Should box seat again, though. We've also got in the race, number 9, Recoiled. Blinkers come off now. He jumps from 1,000 to 1,200, so maybe just to help him get that 1,200 metres, they've taken the blinkers off here. Jason Brown jumps back on. Barrier 10 is no issue, especially with the speed that we mentioned, Adam.
Yeah, well, this horse normally does get out nicely and can find the front. The last two starts just hasn't been able to. So the blinkers off in barrier 10. I'll be intrigued with the speed that's in this race if they do just try and take a sit and let it attack the line strongly like it did last start behind Let It Slip. Small question mark for mine is over the 1200 metres, but if it does relax with that speed in the race, I think it can certainly run on and run a nice race.
Another one of Jimmy Taylor's runners that look for it over at Ascot. Number 4, Regal Gleam, Adam. We know she'll go forward, and with the 2 kilogram claim, she'll be very hard to run down.
She's been given a nice freshen up after winning 3 in a row, and it's the way that she went about it too. She beat Chocoholic, beat Big Caroline by over a length, and then beat She Rules all by 3.5 lengths. Now, she won't get it the same way she did in those other races where she was left alone out in front. That's a small question mark for mine. Can she not only sustain that pressure, then beat some quality gallopers? But I think she's still the way to go with that claim that you mentioned. So I've got her on top from number 3, Pretentious Chant, 2, Spin to Wheels, and 6, Stable Secret.
Going with the 9 on top, Recoiled, ahead of the 3, Pretentious Chant, 2, Spin to Wheels, and 4, Regal Gleam.
Final race of the day at Belmont Park. It is a 1400 metre event, a 72 plus, and again some very good listed form lines and some midweek horses getting their opportunity.
Yeah, interesting race, isn't it, Adam? Number 1, Badamajo, ran a cracking race in the Farnley last start. Let's have a look at it, running second behind Stocks.
Of Military Ruler Badamajo. Red Aura's going up there running fourth, followed by Bass Straight. Stocks is weaving his way through also. Akadasset challenged by Military Ruler at the 200. Stocks claim them both though. Young Lionel's behind them. Badamajo winding up on the inside, but Stocks hits the front with 100 left to travel from Badamajo, Military Ruler and Stocks. Stocks pulls away, beats Badamajo.
Well, of course, she is a 2-time listed winner, and that was a really nice performance first up in the listed Farnley. Hadn't raced since April. The 1400 metres, I remember us discussing it in the pre-race mounting yard that she does race well fresh, and we saw exactly that. Now with the 3 kilo claim, she goes around with 58.5 again from barrier 10. She's got natural speed, she's got a lot of toughness, she's getting better with age. That was even what I spoke to Clint Instein about last start. There's no reason why she can't win this.
Number 6 there, Max Almighty, was a little bit disappointing last week, but they could make an excuse that there was a tight gap that Jordan Turner tried to go through. On the 1 week backup as well, Adam, to me suggests that the horse is thriving and going well. Salah Matthews figures, why not have another go?
I'm very, very wary of this galloper. Jordan Turner, after the race, believed that it was probably time to go for a spell. Has been up for a while now. The form lines look, they're good, but there was just something about that run that wasn't the same Max Almighty that we know. And you mentioned that gap, but I still think that 100% Max Almighty would have taken that and run on. For me, it's just buyer beware. Just take a quick look and be cautious.
A couple of other interesting runners there. General Groove, blinkers on, trialled recently behind Light in My Veins. They battled it out to the line. Light in My Veins won that trial, since came out and ran very well last Saturday. Certainly a chance here. And number 5, Saker, dropping in class from 78 class.
Well, General Groove was nominated for the Hannons, drew barrier 17, so scratched, and they come to town now as well with the blinkers on, and the 2 kilo claim should get a nice run. Again, a listed type that is going in to a 72 plus. And then Saker, beaten 1 length by I'm Feeling Lucky. She's the in-form mare in the state at the moment. Then you add the 2 kilo claim and Randy Tanterboard. I think he is definitely the one to beat with those 2 seconds around the form lines of that in-form mare, as I mentioned. So I'm willing to put him on top here. Number 5, Saker, from 10, Royal Supreme, 1, Badamajo, and 4, Flying Raw.
I'm going the 6 on top, Adam. Max Almighty, giving him another go from the 5, Saker, 2, General Groove, and 4, Flying Raw.
Time now to turn our attention to the best bets of the card, and hopefully you can get it done early here. Going race 2, number 12, Cheap Express, and the best of the day, I think, is race 4, number 4, Charlestown.
Race 3, number 5, Elegant Blast, for me looks very, very hard to beat. And race 9, number 6, Max Almighty.
As we always say, you can follow us on social media. You can see them on screen at the moment. PerthRacing.com.au for all of your event information. On behalf of both of us, hopefully we found you plenty of winners.